Here's a guy who had this dream, and he devoted 31 years of his life to reach this point.
You know, baseball's given me everything that I've had. I've never done anything else.
You're painting a picture of a broken man.
The greatest game in the whole wide world is baseball. It's not a perfect game, and it's not played by perfect people. This game is so strong and so wonderful. Garvey Ranch Park, where it all started, right here. This is probably where my dad saw me play. And, you know, he didn't see me much, but I gotta say, this is where he saw me play. I knew at 7 years old I was going to be a professional baseball player.
White lightning.
I signed a professional contract with the Dodgers when I was 17 years old. My mom was excited, my dad. That's probably one of the happiest times of my life. I was playing Double-A baseball, and it was in the Vietnam era. I went in the Marine Corps in 1969. I was a PFC out of boot camp. I was trained to be a mortarman that was going to go to Vietnam. I became a sergeant. I served 6 years in the Marine Corps. It's very, very, very hard that my best friends were going to Vietnam and some going to get killed. And here I was going to go play baseball. I wasn't there. I went to baseball and they went to serve their country. I've never handled well, and I still don't handle that well. It's haunted me, and it will always haunt me. In 1973, I went up to Milwaukee, played shortstop every day.
I'm gonna break my rusty cage and run. I'm gonna break my rusty cage.
Baseball players try to hang on. And sometimes that's a problem. I didn't hang on. I knew I couldn't play no more. I really knew I was done. Again, the Dodgers came back, the great Dodgers, and said, wait a minute, we need a major league guy with major league experience teaching our young players. So I started my managing career. I went to Great Falls for a couple years, won championship there.
These kids have the greatest character. They never give up.
Then I went to Bakersfield, California, won the championship there.
It took Tim Johnson 30 years to become an overnight success. 30 years as a player, as a manager in the minor leagues, as a big league coach.
He was opening sunflower seeds and chipped his front tooth, and he looks like Snaggletooth right now.
Tim Johnson has no major league managing experience, but his name is usually one of the first mentioned when a job opens up these days.
The day his dream came true, the day he became a big league manager with the Toronto Blue Jays, Tim Johnson felt like the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
You have a lump in your throat, you get tears in your eyes.
It's just a tremendous thing in my life.
First thing I thought of was my dad. God, how proud would my dad be right now? Patty, my wife, hugged me, and everything was really, I mean, it was one of the greatest things in the world.
When a rookie manager in the big leagues takes over a bad team and wins almost 90 games in that first season, he's usually rewarded.
I all of a sudden became the biggest piece of garbage in the world.
Tim Johnson.
Tim Johnson. Tim Johnson.
Tim Johnson.
Tim Johnson became a pathetic figure.
You got fired because you told lies about having fought in Vietnam. Once it got out that Johnson had lied about serving in Vietnam, the war was on.
And the last time anybody believes a word that comes out of your mouth.
It took Tim Johnson 28 years to realize that he didn't love the smell of napalm in the morning.
That ding is irreparable.
And the only Charlie had ever encountered was a guy down on the corner running a 5 and dime.
That guy's lucky if he ever gets within 3 blocks of the confines ever again.
One fictional war story about having to do tough things in tough times. A story, Johnson says, to put baseball into perspective for a disgruntled player. The story was what happens if a kid is coming with...
If a person came with a grenade on their back, do you eliminate this person? Or do you let him come in and eliminate all these? You have to make a decision.
And you said what?
I said, I know, because I was there. All I tried to do was let a player know, because of his ego, that I was going to pitch somebody else to show that this is nothing. It means nothing.
There's no reason to believe that he was going around saying, I was Sergeant York. You know, I killed 78 guys out there over the hill. He didn't do anything like that.
I lied. I made the mistake. Got blackballed, beat to death. I still cry. I still have trouble sleeping.
He has no self-esteem left.
You're painting a picture of a broken man.
The legacy of Tim Johnson, he lied. And that kills me every night.
I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair.
I felt in a hole where I couldn't get out. Thinking of suicide, thinking of things. I let my family down. I didn't deserve to live anymore. Oh yeah, I mean, I went through all that. First person I thought about as the greatest man in the world to me is my father. And he's been dead for quite a while. My mother, she didn't understand. All she knew was her son's a big league player, a big league coach, now he's a big league manager, and she's so proud.
He knows what a line he crossed.
You ever going to get back to the major leagues?
Everybody we spoke to say no.
Mexico means so much to me. I love Mexico so much. When I got there, I had an ovation that I couldn't believe. I had so many great friends. Hey, TJ, we love you, man. I probably was surprised that I had more for me than against me. I went down there and I won a championship.
Finalmente, Daniel y el manager Tim Johnson obsequiaron al primer mandatario la chamarra de campeón.
I felt vindication, and it was. It was probably one of the greatest decisions I've ever made.
Why didn't he just say goodbye to baseball and do something else with his life?
Forget it. Put that out of your mind.
Not an option.
That is never, ever going to happen. There are certain people who are baseball people. He's never going to walk away.
I'm gonna break my
I would love to